passages that we're going through, what's the purpose of it?
17 lessons.
Like all of these lessons that we've gone through, biblical lessons, what is the purpose of us going through all these? Because the class really starts after the lessons, you know what I mean? But if we're not on the same page, once we start studying the Bible, then you won't see the Bible the way the author wrote it. You understand? So,
Answer the question.
huh? Did I answer it?
Yeah.
What was the question?
Right, thank you.
What was the question?
What is the purpose of going through the 17 lessons? And that's so you have a godly understanding of Scripture. So then you,
Go beneath the surface.
right, so then when you're reading it the way the author wrote it instead of reading it the way church taught you. Okay? So then, we could never, because you've gone through the class, you could never say, well, Jesus is not God, because you've gone through the class and you can see you can never say that that the gospel wasn't written until Christ, then God had to send Christ, and then that started the gospel. Because you know that Christ had been talked about since Genesis, right? So and then you would know, like, okay, why we don't get into astrology. Like when people's like, what sign are you? You know that that does not pertain to us. It pertains to God's message about Yeshua, right? So there's certain things that you could that when you're reading the scripture, now when we start studying the scriptures and we see God very upset at them about, he says, go get your astrologers and your soothsayers, you know, because they wouldn't obey God, but they kept going to the soothsayers. And then when everything went wrong, he said, yeah, go get your astrologers and soothsayers now, you know.
Let them deliver you.
Yeah. So we understand, okay, whatever they pulled from the stars wasn't from God, because God knows what the stars were for, you know. And so every cycle is letting you know, we know for sure, that Adam and Eve that were in the garden were not the first two people
on the planet
created. You understand? On the 8th day they were created, but not on the 6th day, because we know Adam can mean both mankind, okay, and Adam can also mean one person, okay. Because then, if we're reading Genesis chapter 4, it would say, then the Adam, it says Veha Adam, to let you know it is a specific, this Adam, okay? Then the Adam and his wife had a child. So they're letting you know it is that Adam that's in the garden, you know? So, but then sometimes it'll say, and Adam disobeyed God's command, and this is why the flood means mankind, right? Okay, so you'll understand that. So then when we get to the scripture, then it's less confusion once we start studying, and then you'll look for certain things,
Right.
you know. Yeah, look what the wind blew in.
Where?
Is your leg still hurting?